Sam just fucking attacked me. Second time. Right here. Sam just fucking attacked me for the second time since last year, last September. Was this an anniversary attack or something? I was getting the cat some food. I fed the cat some food out here. I came back into the kitchen. Sam was in here washing the dishes and Joe was in here. I put the cat litter, the rubbish from the cat treat in the bin. And I need to wash my hands, so I went to wash my hands. And he starts like pushing at me and shouting at me, and then he starts grabbing my arms and stopping me getting water to wash my hands with. He starts fucking screaming at me like a maniac. Got these wild, insane eyes, stomping around like... Jesus Christ. Just screaming his head off at me after he'd like denied me water from this house. He doesn't even own the water, he doesn't pay for the water. It's like one of the hottest days of the year. And I'm just trying to wash my hands off the cat thing like I normally do. He's like grabbing my arms and shoving me out of the way and like blocking the water from my access. And fucking insane behaviour. This is why I've had to live in the squalor I do. I live out of bags and move all my stuff to my room and buy a £200 antique rim lock. This is not my brother. He was my brother a long time ago before he went fucking nuts and thought it was okay to be violent to people within the house. And he got half the house siding with him. But this is normal behaviour, that you can be violent to your family members. And punch me across the room in the neck, right in front of Mum, last year. This time last year. He's fucking insane. He wants to kill me. You see the intensity of his eyes, like, just, he wants to kill me. Fucking shaking after that happened maybe 10-15 minutes ago here, and fucking my body is fucking shaking from it. I know it's a fucking cliche or whatever, but I don't want to fucking punch him. I don't want to attack family members, but you can see it in his eyes. He definitely does. I hope he doesn't attack Alfie, because he knows I like Alfie. I know what he's going to do now as well, because Joe was in the room watching him. They make dinner for each other like some sort of married couple. Like, Joe can't stop defending him no matter what evils he does. Like, he'll like defend him no matter how irrational it was, because they play computer games together and they make dinners for each other all the time. Like, you know, if Joe had some, like, if he was still good, I thought he was good, but when Sam attacked me last year, he's just like, he was advocating for violence as well. Like, he wasn't talking about self-defense. I mean, I've been through all this before. It's noisy here. Let's try this again. I know what he's gonna do now, because he was in the kitchen and Joe, my other brother, was watching, who hasn't assaulted me but has proclaimed that he would be violent and not on the grounds of self-defense. He's going to spin it as if like that I've done something to deserve being pushed away from the water that I need to wash my hands with, or I'd need to drink, to deny me that water. And he was so close to just like fucking assaulting me full on, like punching me across the room again. and Joe would have done nothing. And if I'd have tried defending myself from Sam's punches, then Joe would have joined in and attacked me too. He would attack someone not to defend himself from harm, but he would just attack someone if he thinks they deserved it, which is not self-defense, it's direct, unprovoked aggression. I was wondering when he was going to do this to me, because there were so many times in the past year since the last time he assaulted me, punched me in the neck and hurled me across a room in front of my mum. There's so many times where he's just like doing tons of stuff in the house to try and provoke me to the point where he could attack me and then blame it on something, that I thought he would have done this a lot earlier. Now he's done it almost a year away from the last time, like a fucking anniversary or some shit. I have to find out what day last year he did this. I think it was September, so that's a year away. It's not, I'm not going to use the word safe at all, but it's a fucking dangerous place, my house, and my parents don't act when he does this to me, and so he just continues doing it and gets more brazen and brash and thinks he owns the house, which is the end goal, is, you know, to take over the house for himself and kick me out onto the streets to be homeless or to kill me. Maybe if he kills me, then he'll go to jail for his life, so that's a sick outcome, but maybe that'd be the good outcome, because he should not be out in public, someone as dangerous as this. And next time he assaults me, I'm definitely calling the police, and I've got all my evidence of different things he's done now on my camera, so try and build a police report. As much as I hate police, they're needed to stop this, because my parents won't do anything solid that will actually be a penalty to what he's done. Take away his job, take away his wages, until he can behave himself as a normal human being with compassion and even just civility, just plain civility for the people around him. And this is his family we're talking about here. He physically assaults family members. Nobody does that in the real world, or at least they don't do it without police getting involved and real penalties being imposed for just breaking the family bonds, and which is what he's done. You know, this thing has ripped our family in half ever since he did it, and he's never understood that he's guilty of doing something extremely bad, and he's never said sorry to anyone, and he's never said that he'll improve his behaviour and not do it again and be kind to family members. I've been nothing but non-violent during this entire time, and yeah, I would never attack a family member. That's just something you're not meant to do. Doesn't matter who they are. Like, if you don't like a family member, you don't attack them. You don't deny them access to water. You don't go picking up their property and fucking around with it, thinking it's yours, and trying to dominate the household. You just don't do that. That's not what you do if you have a problem with a family member. It's insane. Now I know he's still just as capable of, like, stomping around ready to punch someone. You know, I told you what the thing he punched me for the first time was, because I used a towel to dry my hands in the kitchen that is, you know, all the towels in the kitchen are Mum's towels. She owns them, but she has bought them for use of the whole family to use them, so there's nothing to say that she wants them for herself. She bought them so that the whole family could use them, and I dried my hands on that, and he thinks for some reason he owns it, and he punched me across a room in front of my mother for drying my hands on a towel that isn't his. It's the level of fucking crazy irrationality that we're dealing with here. Now, it'd be different if it was someone fucking with his property that he bought and owned and worked to get, but he didn't own that towel. I can't believe I'm talking about towel. It's insane. He gets, like, the amount of rage coming out of him, exuding from him, for me wiping my hands on a towel. Or today, just as normal, I go over the sink to wash my hands, and he's suddenly like grabbing my arms and pushing me away and going, "No, don't wash your hands, and you can't have this water, and be patient," like as if I have to wait for him to like finish washing the dishes before I can wash crap off my hands or something. And he's not in the way or anything, he's just standing by the sink washing the dishes. He could easily just, like a normal person and like everyone else in the house, pause for a moment, step lightly aside or pivot his body slightly to the left and, you know, let my fingertips touch the tap water for a few seconds at the very least. If not, just allow me to quickly squirt some soap on my hands and wash my hands. But no, he's suddenly trying to deny me water, and he's like grabbing my arms and trying to push me away from reaching the tap water. Denying a human water. He'd probably try and deny me the ability to go to the toilet. Like, deny me the ability to be sick if he could. Deny me the ability to scratch and itch on my face or my arm if he could. He has no basic understanding of bodily autonomy. Like, I have no idea why he didn't take the vaccine and wear the mask, because he completely believes in those things. I have no idea why he doesn't overtly go around saying he's a socialist right now, because he completely believes in those things. That's the ideology we're dealing with here. Like, someone who doesn't agree with bodily autonomy, thinks it's one rule for themselves and not for any other people, and disregards and violates property rights, including the body, and is just, you know, anti-family is another one that's very socialist. So I'm in threat of physical attack again while I've started my driving lessons. The stress is going to be through the roof while I need to be de-stressed, because I need to focus on the road and be calm, to take in all the information on the road, you know, that zen, that peaceful feeling, you know, the ability to calm myself down. If I've got stress coming from the house added onto the stress of the road, it's going to be very difficult for me to just keep calm in that scenario, knowing that when I come back to the house I'm just in danger of being physically assaulted by this maniac, knowing that he wants to kill me. Not only he wants to deny me like basic human rights, like the right to water, and it's not water that he owns. He has no right to block off the water from me. My parents pay the water, and they pay it for the use of everyone in the house. Now, what if he was denied water? He'd go, oh, I don't like that. That's horrible, you can't deny me water. But he's doing that to other people. So there's one rule for him and another rule for everyone else. That's just shocking thinking. That's evil thinking. And he doesn't understand basic morality. If he doesn't change his actions and change his course right now, then yeah, he's heading straight for jail. He doesn't have to live his life like this. He doesn't have to endanger his freedom by attacking other people. He could be a free man if he was just like, if he had it in his mind, I'm never going to touch or mess with property that doesn't belong to me. I'm never going to touch another person. I'm never going to force their body to do things. I'm never going to deny them access to basic human rights. I'm never going to get offended over the placement of some fabric that doesn't belong to me. It's really easy just to do these things, just to act like a normal human. It's really easy to act like a civil human being in the world, and he's incapable of it. How did he get like this? Like, what has he been doing this whole time that has taken him so far removed from humanity? And he doesn't go out, he doesn't use the buses, he doesn't go shopping. He'd rather get Tesco delivered shopping to his door. He doesn't interact with humans to have like basic levels of conversation, and like he sits in there, plays video games with his brother over the LAN or the internet or whatever, and they cook each other dinners forever, and they don't go out, they don't go into the countryside, they don't try and get a job. Like, they're just relying on the family job. Like, they don't want to try and get another job or try to talk to other people like I've been doing for the last 20 years or so, to try and get out of my family job. Like, try as best as I can, even though it's hard. They don't even want to try, they just want to, you know, be in this privileged, gifted position, having everything provided for them for the rest of their lives. They have no intent to try and work and get a job, get enough money to get a flat, get that flat, get a family, get a girlfriend, get married, have kids. Like, all the things that drive me and drive a lot of people are just absent from them. You know, they just want to veg out in this environment that's been given to them on a plate, sort of thing, and not try to live with people in peace and aim to try and get work like I do. I can't believe he did that. You know, just when you think things are getting better and he's stepping back and on the path to normality, on the path to not being violent without explicitly saying it, but he would need to explicitly say that he would never do these things and be regretful of bringing violence into the family. But lacking that, you could just step back from it all and stop doing it, you know. He began to pull off the pressure and to stop messing with things in the house and that weren't his. He began, you know, over the past, 2 months, things have been calmer. And I thought it was because he was starting to understand that this war cannot happen in this house. But, you know, now I just see in a split second, just from me just doing a basic household thing once again. You know, before it was drying my hands, and today it was just washing my hands. Just some, like, basic human behaviours in the house, and he just went absolutely nuts. He was like trying to make himself look big. He was stomping around. He was like holding his fists by his side like he's about to punch me across the room again in front of Joe. He's like glaring with these maniac eyes at me while stomping around. And he's like just trying to deny me washing my hands. I just can't believe it. This is what I'm stuck in. And it's not like I'm able to go anywhere, because I have to get the car to get the availability to get the jobs, because the interview said I need availability, so that's what the car's for, and get the job, work there for a while to where my wages were at the level before I was at my last business, and then work for a while to get enough wages to be considered full-time and to be approved, like, so most flats, the estate agents would approve me for moving into a flat, and then obviously I need to work for a long time once I got a flat. But once you get a flat, I can move out of this situation. But the thing is, all that takes a long time, a very long time. So there's no way I'm just going to magically escape this domestic abuse situation with my brother. There's no way I can just walk out of the house and be okay. I'd just be homeless, and I'd be in no position to get a job or a flat or anything. Well, that's one of the things he wants, apart from killing me. He wants me to be homeless, and he wants to own the house that doesn't belong to him, which, once my parents die, he'll get that for a few years before the bailiffs take it away. There's no quick fix. I have to be in this house for a long time in order to get in a position to leave this house and get in a flat. Driving lessons will take a very long time. I think you've got to put in 25 lessons minimal to be at the stage where you can take a test. Job hunting will take a long time because you're just waiting for other people to decide if they want to accept you, and you're going to all sorts of different places and giving them your CV and trying all sorts of different things, talking to all sorts of people, something my brothers just wouldn't be capable of. You know, if they were normal people, they'd be trying to get out there and write their CV and go to every business in all the towns of the county and offer their skills, or do it online, whatever. That's the lazy way of doing it. And then, you know, once you've got a job, you've got to put the effort into fitting in with the people who are there, finding out what the work ethic is and what the job demands of you and how you're meant to behave while you're working for this company, you know, to get your wages, get to a level where you can keep doing the right things for those people in that job for a long time and wait till your money climbs up, and then when your money's at a suitable level, then you go flat hunting, and that's a whole thing where you need to talk to people and, you know, travel and go out there, go on the buses or in the car if I have it, go to different places. And yeah, these aren't things my brothers are capable of, and that might contribute to why Sam's not normal, and he's just like this entitled brat who thinks he should be given stuff for free. Anyway, I'm just in a quiet spot in the woods to say all this, but now I'm going to head back to the house, lock myself in the room. I'm going to take this camera out with me, hopefully whenever I leave the room, just to record any potential further attacks that might happen to me.